we have two of my favorite humans, Jenna and Stu, the Reklaws. Welcome to Pure Country.
Oh, so good to be back.
My favorite.
How are you guys? How you doing? How you feeling?
We're good. It's been quite a year, and I mean, it flew by. This summer was insane. It was everything we've ever wanted. We weren't ready for it by any means.
It was catch-up summer, so we're literally playing every show that was booked in 2020,
right?
And 2021, and then also 2022. So it was 3 summers in one. It was great.
That's amazing. And new music. So new album, Good Old Days, out in the world. You guys kind of just surprised everyone with this. Because I was wondering, I thought, I know new music is going to come from them soon. And then it was like, hey, PS, we have an album coming out. How does it feel after, like, I know you've said these past 2 years, you guys have been writing, you've been working on music, but to finally go like, okay, here's the album, everyone, it's out. How does that feel?
It feels good. Like, this album is going to be made up of some of the songs we've put out over the past 2 years, which has been crazy because we have to put a bow on it. You know, we got to put a pretty bow on the COVID record, which is horrible, but like amazing.
Yes.
And so these new songs that are coming out with the album we have had for a while, some of them for a long, long time, and others for not so long. But I think the more and more we write, the more and more we're getting closer to ourselves and writing really from the heart. I think it was for so long, it was writing just what we thought everyone would like and everything we'd want to hear. And I think now it's a little more personal. I mean, there are some fun ones too, but some of them are really like personal and awesome. And I think but it's just fun. Like it's going to be a cool season for us for sure.
And I think that you guys have been at this for so long. People don't realize this has been something you guys have been doing since you were kids. So yes, over the past couple of years, you guys have been figuring out your lane and what you guys want to say, but you have dedicated fans that show up for you. And so now you are in that phase of life where you can go, let's experiment a little. We know what we want to say. We know who we are. And I love that you guys are both kind of showing off your solo parts in the album, and it still is the Reklaws. It's still you guys, but giving each other a moment to shine, which really shows just like the growth of the two of you and that you both do have different things you want to say. So how was that fun being able to like watch Jenna go with Middle Fingers? If you guys were wondering why I just flipped them off in this conversation, they have a song, Middle Fingers, but Cowboy, and then like with The Downside, is it fun to get to watch the other person really shine on their own?
Yeah, I think it's something we're going to do every album from now on for sure. And like those songs like specifically will probably be acoustic every time too, just because it's so intimate and it's very much like I don't know, it's our own song. And when we weren't even in the room when each other did our vocals, like I did mine on my own, Jen did hers on her own. Like it was just fully like just see what you want to make and sing it the way you want and get vulnerable. And it was great. I think it's a really cool process, and it actually makes like the duets even more fun when it's happening, because it will give more dynamic throughout the shows and touring as time goes on.
Yeah, and I think it's a big moment for us personally because for so long it was like a dilemma that we both wanted to sing.
Right, and people were telling us that wasn't a thing that was allowed, even though Lady A did it for the album.
We loved how Lady A would do that, like that it was boy and girl and they could do that, and we're like, so if that makes sense and they're not a couple, then it should all make sense, right? Exactly. And then they could fight us on that. So
and nobody listens to a Lady A record and goes like, oh, I didn't really hear Hillary on that song. That doesn't feel like Lady A. It's like, no, it's still a Lady A song. It's still a Reklaws song. It's just not, it's not Long Live the Night again. It's something different. It's something really, really cool. And man, this record is like a mixture of, like you said, a lot of fun, some silliness, but like, I just have to say, people don't talk about, I made the mistake of listening to it for the first time, like probably 10 minutes before we started talking. And I literally had to go fix my makeup because I was like, wow, like that song, you guys, is just incredible. Like the writing, all of it. And I'm just like so proud of you guys. That's such a great song.
Thank you, Shannon.
That's so
I'm like, I'm gonna cry again.
That was definitely
I cried too much. So
it was the most difficult song we've ever had to write. And like, it was a fight between all of us. whether or not to put it out because it was so personal.
Yeah.
But as soon as we showed it to our team and other friends and stuff, everybody just kind of turned the mirror towards themselves. And that song could be about whatever your own issues are that you don't want to bring up with people. And it's just like,
yeah,
it's a stigma that we're trying to kill.
Especially in like in what we do, I think we show up and it's the best time ever, always, you know, and it should be. I think when people go to a concert, it's like, yeah, we want to have the best time and ever.
Yep.
No one wants to talk about the hard things,
Mhm.
because that just like ruins everyone's time.
It gets too real, yeah.
But
Yep.
I think I don't think it does ruin everyone's time. I think it just makes everyone human, that everyone has things they go through, and it can be
Sure.
anything. Divorce, alcoholism, cancer, you know, all that stuff. It's just wild.
Did you guys find healing in writing and finally releasing that song?
Yeah, I remember when we wrote it the day of, we sent it to our manager and we're just like, this is something special. We don't know whether or not it would make sense to ever release, but we're crying while we made this. And then we were coming back from the songwriting, I think 2 weeks after, and our friend Callum, who we wrote it with, we wrote Wet the Truck with Callum as well. But we were driving back from a songwriting, and he sent the demo, and Jen and I were on the highway on I-65 in Nashville, and we both were like bawling. So it's, we're hoping that people feel the heart in it and feel our vulnerability. It's a very vulnerable thing to release. So.
I do think that also too, there'll be some healing as like when we see the effects of it coming out,
Right?
Because conversations will have to be had, and getting on stage every night and having to play it and will be a whole other thing too. And also it'll allow people to hopefully get things off of their chest and be able to talk about stuff. I think that's the main reason why we put it out. It was so like, oh, we don't want to do this because then we'll have to have those conversations, which is so ironic because it's like calling people don't talk about.
This is the song.
That's the song that we're having trouble talking about. But I think it's just gonna initiate new conversations for people, and I hope that I think it just has a bigger meaning in the whole perspective of it, that I hope people can find some help and some light in it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I literally listened to it and it made my wheels turn of like, oh, there's so many things that I have going. And you try to, you know, in the industry that we're in, you want to seem put together and you want to seem like everything's okay, but sometimes it's not. And so like, it made me go, yes, that therapy session that I have booked, I have to actually go because I have things I need to talk about. Let me tell you.
I just got shivers all over my body after you just said that. It's so real. It's so good.
It's happening all the time. And I think the cool thing about your concert, especially with songs like this that are going to be in it, people are going to have a very healing journey to like go to a Reklaws concert. And there is like a way where you can listen to a song like that and people go, wow. And then sing a song like Wet the Truck and people will just be like, we're going to get through it. It's going to be fine. We can party and have a good time. And I think it's cool that we're seeing a different side of you guys, because you are, as much fun as you are, you're also both human beings that are going through things and have things that have happened. And I think it's really seeing, like I said before, a lot of growth in the two of you, which is so cool. I just feel like you guys are, I always say this and it keeps happening. You guys are going places and things are happening and it's so cool. Do you guys look back at the last 2 years and believe like the amount of success that you guys have had with What the Truck and it just keeps going, that even in the weirdest 2 years, it really didn't stop you guys at all?
You go ahead.
I feel like it did stop us, but I mean, we just knew that we had to get out there. We had to keep going. We have to keep moving and keep writing and expanding ourselves. And I think we've also taken some time to like sit back and be like, whoa, that was a lot. That was a lot. But I think it's like you said, it's allowing us to grow. It's allowing us to ask questions about ourselves, about what we want and how we want to move forward and who we want to be moving forward and the people we want to talk to and how we want to talk to them. And like you said, like a Reklaws show, it is that fun energy, but it's also those moments of like, let's just sit and be like, how is everybody? Because I don't think anyone really asked how they were after the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And I know there's deeper conversations going on. And I think it's important that everyone just feels heard and seen, and
Yeah.
and our only way of initiating those conversations is through songs.
Yeah.
So
I think moving forward, especially with this record, it's almost like, I think in the pandemic, became very apparent who your friends are, who the important people are, and the important things, because the real world kind of can blind you. I personally realized that, but like, I'm hoping that through those experiences and songs like people don't talk about in this entire album, for that matter, will like allow us to continue to grow like that and like see the world from that perspective as we go on. I hope everyone does, because that's what the pandemic did to us.
For sure. Let's segue into Middle Fingers, because I feel like that's how we all kind of feel about the pandemic, just like you give it, two of those. What made you, because Jenna, I feel like this is a female anthem that a lot of young women need. Now it applies to everyone in their life, but how fun was it for you to like actually get to sing this song and just really feel it? And I feel like this is a song maybe that we needed when we were like 16.
Oh my gosh, I know. That's all I've ever needed, really.
Yeah.
No, it was so cool to do. Honestly, we've known about this song forever. Our really great friend Emily Reed,
yes,
who everyone probably knows. She wrote this song. She had played it for us for so long, and then I was like, I think I need to try and do it.
You're like, can I have that?
You want that song? And what's so exciting, I feel too, is I feel really coming into my own of like what I want to write about and who I want to write to. And I feel like girls need songs and boys need songs, but specifically girls with like just songs that are like, oh my gosh, let's just have a good time. Screw everybody else. It's not about heartbreak. I mean, it is, but it's like a lighthearted heartbreak where it's like, you're just, your power. I just want women to know their power. And I feel like we're writing songs that are about that. And I think it's going to be an exciting year. Like I already have other songs that I'm like, oh my gosh, I need people to hear these because they're fun. Right. And they're girl songs that are like, not this guy tore my heart out.
Yeah.
You know?
Because sometimes you need a song that like, you're already sad enough. You don't need a song to like make you realize how sad you are. You need a song to make you go like, yeah, you know what? I'm fine. I can do that.
Exactly. Like I want people to kind of laugh when they hear that song. Like
I laughed and then I was like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That one's going to be a really, really awesome live too. I'm
like, Stu, you're just going to have to be like a background dancer and just like flipping everybody off in the crowd.
Right.
It'll be fun.
There's like full blown like masks that have a middle finger on them. I think I might just wear that.
I saw that. Did you see that on Instagram?
I'm going to get one and I'm just going to come dance in the background for you. Because I love that song so much. Okay, well, we'll wrap with talking about Good Old Days, obviously, title of the album. What do you, when you think of Good Old Days, what do you guys truly think of? Because I think that is different for everyone, but obviously it being in this moment right now, there's been something that has inspired you guys to go, time for the good old days.
Yeah. We, for a moment, I think, again, with the pandemic stuff, as this is kind of wrapping a bow on COVID, this entire past 2 years, it felt like we were looking back at like 2019, 2018, like those were like the years, like that was it. We didn't even think of it. We didn't realize it at all.
Yeah.
And then finally we had this summer that happened and everyone's finally like getting out of their shells again, where it's like, we're looking forward to the good old days to come once again, which is a nice feeling. I think we were, I think felt like it was done for a while. We thought that this pandemic could have gone on for 5 years. So we were like, how are we going to possibly do this? Like, whatever. But we wrote, that was the first ever song that we wrote over Zoom. We wrote it at our cottage and we were like, this is still, isn't that weird?
Yeah, I totally
wrote it with Donovan Woods and a few other friends, but it was just, it turned out amazing. And we think it's, it almost feels a little bit like nostalgic old school Reklaws, like album one Reklaws in a way. It's like the one song on the album that feels like it would be on what it's called, freshman year. But yeah, I'm excited to see how that reacts. We wanted to keep it very much like a live party song, and I think that that's what we pulled off, hopefully.
Yes, and we're looking back, but we're like, let's just go forward and get to go to more concerts of yours, which I saw you say something like you do have plans for tour shows, maybe.
Yes.
We were literally at a breakfast this morning talking about getting some dates together, and it's really happening, and I'm sure we'll announce it very soon.
Get out there and see all our friends again.
Awesome. Well, I will be there and I can't wait to see you guys in person. I'm like, the Zooming is great, but I miss
Yeah.
getting to like actually see you guys. So I hope we get to
No.
do that more soon.
I know. I really need that actually.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I really, really need that. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this. Jenna and Stu, the Reklaws, congrats on the new album, Good Old Days. And always a pleasure to have you guys on Pure Country.